All right, everyone. So today we're going to learn about how to use iMovie. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up the app and you're going to notice that plus sign. So the plus sign is what we're going to use to create a project. We're going to go ahead and hit movie. And then there's a lot of different videos you can choose from right now, but you can just go down and create your movie right away and worry about adding that stuff later. You're immediately going to be presented with adding something to your movie like media or audio, so you can go back and forth between adding things. But before I do that, I kind of wanted to show you the tools at the top. So on the top you can see that I have the question mark highlighted, so when you do that it'll show you all the buttons in case you forget. The gear is going to tell you your project settings, so you can go through and look at your different filters, the theme. You can select someone that you want for your entire project. You can turn that theme soundtrack or the fading in and out to black on. That's all in the project settings there. And then last but not least, that plus sign is going to take you to adding audio or media. Media is going to be what you visually see. So we're going to go ahead and add some videos right now. You can just go to all, so you can see all of your videos, even though they do categorize it. And you can pick the one that you want, tap it, add the plus sign, and there it is. It is now in your timeline. Once it's in your timeline, you can continue to add more, or you can just edit the one that you have. I am going to add another one. And as soon as I do that, you're going to notice that it actually puts in a little transition in between the two of them. I'm going to add a photo by going back to that media, selecting photo, but realizing I don't really want it at the end there. So I can just pick it up and drag it where I do want it. Let's say I wanted it right in the middle here. Nah, I'm going to put it in the front. So when it's in the front here, there's a couple different editing features I can do. For example, notice how it moves when I play. You can turn that off. So now it's just straight. That's called Ken Burns. So there, Ken Burns is disabled. If I enable it, I can actually pick a starting and stopping point. So if I wanted to start all zoomed out and then I wanted to zoom in on Mrs. Clifton's face, I can pinch to the end position right here, and that's where I want it to end. So when I go back and hit play, this is what happens as the timeline moves through the photo, which is pretty funny. So I think we should keep that. Now, in between the photo and the video, there was that transition where it kind of started to dissolve. And you can actually go through all of the different transitions. There's tons of different ones. So you can choose to swipe, you can choose the wipe, you can choose fade to black, which was the other one that I had, none, dissolve, the one that came with your theme. So if you select a certain theme, sometimes they give you new transitions. You can do nothing, so it just goes straight to it. But all of your transitions, there's a time and place for every transition. Let's go ahead and learn how to add a title. So as you put a title in, all you have to do is tap, select title, and now you can go in and type in whatever you want for your title. You can see the little T on the picture now. All the titles have different features, so just play around with the one that you want. As soon as you tap photo, you're presented with that option of the title as well as a bunch of different filters too. In the videos, you're also presented with those same options of adding titles, selecting filters, etc. So when I'm actually on the video here, I have tons of different actions I can do, such as splitting it up into pieces. Splitting it up into pieces allows me to kind of just put a title into one little spot, because if I put a title into that entire area, or if I just tap that video, the title is actually going to stay for the entire thing, and I don't want that. So I can actually just split it right where I want the title to stop. So that's where splitting really comes in handy too. It also comes in handy for trimming up your video. I'm going to look at this transition here, switch it up a little bit, and I can just drag those yellow bars to make my movie shorter, or trim the ends that I don't really want. And if there was a blooper in the center, you could split and then trim from there. Now in here you can also change the volume, which is another cool feature. You can completely remove it if you want to as well. And those are the main features for our iMovie. Don't forget you can add cool filters, so you can kind of change the coloration of it. So I'm just going to add that filter to make it look kind of fun. And there's your iMovie. So you can hit done. There you can change the title. I'm just going to title it example. And then you can use that send to save the video. So now we can save it to your camera roll, and I always pick HD 720. And once you select that, it will save to your camera roll. And then you'll be able to find it in there and share it in there. It will also save in your projects as well. One quick thing that I also want to add is how you can add audio. So you can add audio through soundtracks. You can pick any song you want here and you can add it. You can also pick sound effects and add them. You can click them to move them and rearrange them. So if I wanted to add this, I can have that come in anywhere I want, which is pretty cool. If I wanted to add music, all I would have to do is, if I go into my music, I'm not going to have any. So I have to go into soundtracks, which is the already pre-populated music from iMovie. There's a bunch of the older ones, and then these are all new. So you just have to listen and pick the one that you like. If they're kind of dark or they have the arrow with the cloud, they're in the cloud. So you just have to wait a little bit. You can tap them. You can listen to them before you add them. When you do add music, it ends up kind of taking over the whole thing. You can always crop it, split it in the actions. You can delete the end there if you wanted to. You can trim it up. You can have it fade in the volume if you want it to kind of fade out. You can always do that, which is fun too. And there you have it.